Today, we are going to talk about something that every single company here needs, and that's getting leads from your website into ProLine automatically. We're going to cover two tools to make this happen. The first is web forms, and that's a form you build right inside of ProLine and add to your website. The second is web leads. It's a webhook option for those who already have a form on your website and you want to keep that intact. So by the end of this session, you'll see a lead go from form submission to landing in your pipeline. And that's with your automations firing. And then without anyone on your team lifting a finger. So let's dig into it. It's 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Your crew is on a roof. You're driving between job sites and nobody's watching the inbox. A homeowner with a leaking roof fills out your contact form. And that submission sits in your email inbox or voicemail on your phone. Maybe someone catches it at lunch. Maybe it's the end of the day. Meanwhile, that homeowner filled out forms on 3 other roofing websites, and the company that responds first is going to win the job. So that's speed to lead. And that's what we're solving today. When your website is connected to ProLine, the moment that form is submitted, ProLine creates the contact and project, assigns it to the right person, and starts a workflow that instantly replies to the homeowner. So they already know who's taking care of their roof, and your crew never had to come off a ladder. Your sales reps can still be out in the field. Let's build that right now. So first, let's find web forms. I'm going to share my screen with you. From your homepage, you're just going to go to our handy dandy hamburger menu and choose integrations. This is where you'll find all of the apps and integrations available in your ProLine account. And so today we're going to focus on the two we discussed, web leads and web forms. Let's start with web forms. That one's a little bit more in depth. If you've already created forms before, you'll see them listed here. So when I click on this, I have a few in here. Puppy inspection was a fun one we were playing around with, for example. Name it something. We're going to create a form and we're going to name it something that your team will recognize internally. And then I'll call this one just website form and click create. And just like that, my new form appears on the list. Website form. I'll click on the arrow to expand it. And now we can see all of the settings for this form. One quick note before we dive in. Everything here saves automatically. There's no save button, so you don't need to go looking for one. It's just going to save as we make adjustments throughout. So previewing the form and the design settings. Before we start changing settings, let's just look at what it looks like out of the box, and that way you'll understand exactly what each setting is changing. So I'm going to choose preview form here at the top. This is your form by default. It already includes the essentials: first name, last name, email, phone number. Those are required, plus an optional, how can we help you? The message box where the customer can describe what they need. And then even if you change nothing at all, this form could be ready to collect leads. But let's make it look like your company. I'm going to go back to the form settings. So back in settings, the first options you'll see are design colors. And that's label, text, color, border color, button regular color, button hover color, button text color, and calendar accent color. Our recommendation is use the hex codes from your actual branding. And if you work with a graphic designer or marketing agency, they can give you those codes in seconds. That way the form matches your website perfectly. And the nice part is every change you make shows up live in the preview. So as you're customizing it, just flip over to the preview to confirm that it looks the way that you want. So I'm going to go change the label color. We'll make it something very obvious. We're going to be red. And then you see here, each label is red. It's a little aggressive, so I'm going to change that back to black, but it is a very quick update that happens there. There's 2 checkboxes worth noting on that preview, or right here. So collect address and require CAPTCHA. Collect address, you turn this on if you want the customer to enter their property address when filling out the form. And then require CAPTCHA. This adds a quick verification step to prevent spam submissions. If you start getting junk leads from bots, this is your fix. And I'm sure you've seen this on websites, filling out forms yourself. Let's talk routing settings. So where does it go? What happens next? This next section is probably the most important part for the whole form. These settings control what happens inside of ProLine the moment someone hits submit. So you'll see the first one is assignees, and this is who the new lead gets assigned to. You can pick one person, maybe your office manager who handles all of the leads that come in, or you can add your entire sales team. If you add multiple assignees, we're going to distribute the leads using a balanced round robin, and it's smart about it. It looks at each person's activity over the last 7 days. So if one rep is slammed, ProLine routes to the next, then lead to the next with more availability, and everyone gets their fair share. I'm here by default, but I can add John Dorian as my next person. And the next drop downs below assignee go through. So we have project stage, and let's go to, we're going to make this one go. This is the web form for new leads. So I want this to go to sales new leads. That's where it goes. You can choose whatever fits your process. This is what fits inside my process in my demo account. Okay, so project tag is the next one. You can automatically tag projects that come from this form. The tags are incredibly useful for reporting later on, but one heads up, if the tag you want isn't in the list, you'll need to create it first under company settings, projects, and then tags. So I could website tag. That makes sense. Okay. Start workflow. This is the magic one. This automation fires the moment the lead arrives. Most of you will pick website speed to lead workflow. It comes pre-built in your account, and you can customize its messages anytime. But for demo purposes, I'm going to select this one from the dropdown. Speed to lead, website speed to lead. One important note, if you've already have a speed to lead workflow configured as a stage trigger on your new lead stage, you don't need to select the workflow here. The stage trigger will start it automatically when the lead lands. Just a note. Okay, so we've got the stage is going to go to new leads, website tag, and the speed to lead workflow is going to begin when this lead comes in. That way the homeowner immediately gets responsiveness from your company. The next is contact type. This sets what type of contact gets created. Most of the time, you want this to be a customer, but there are other options from your contact settings. Okay. Contact tag. You can also tag the contact itself. Quick clarification, because this trips people up, a contact tag is different from a project tag. The contact tag lives on the person. The project tag lives on the project. So both help with reporting, but project tags are usually more useful for tracking. Just an FYI. Lead source. Don't skip this one. ProLine has dashboards built specifically for lead source tracking, and it's how you'll know which marketing channels are actually making you money. So this form, you want to select website. It's included in your account by default, and if you ever need additional lead sources, you can add them in company settings. All right. So the next couple more settings to go through. Send submissions to an email address. This is optional, but if you have someone who follows up on every lead, you can enter their email here and they get a notification with the lead's information every time the form is submitted. Terms and conditions link and the privacy policy link. Let's talk about both of those. They are mandatory. They get hyperlinked into the disclaimer at the bottom of your form, and they're required for phone carrier compliance. So make sure your website, it has a terms and conditions page and a privacy policy page, and paste those links here. We also have options to show you how to do that, or show you examples of terms and conditions and privacy policies separately that are needed for compliance. Okay, scheduling. That is optional. I can go to, it's going allow the customer to schedule an inspection 60 minutes. Number of booking hours, 3 hours. I don't know. We want to make sure that you don't just get booked the next minute and you can't drive across town for that time period. And then maximum booking period, how far out can they book with you? And that's 30 days. And then reassign project, it only matters when an existing project is using the form. If it's checked, ProLine will reassign that project to match whoever the event gets booked with. If it's unchecked, the project keeps the original assignee, even if the appointment lands on someone else's calendar. Click review, preview form, and take a look at what we've got here. Sure. So showing everything all the way through, terms and conditions, privacy policy links listed down here, my colors. Okay. So far, it's asking for your name, phone, and a message. But what if you want to ask something specific to your business? That's what dynamic fields are for. So I'm going to choose add field here and display name. Maybe I want to know the service that they're interested in. Oh, it's the letter. Okay. Type. I'm going to say multi-line, or actually in this case, let's do a drop down. We're going to list the actual services that we can offer. So I'm going to do roof replacement. That way they can't put something random in here. Roof repair, required, yes or no. I'm going to just say no for now. And then help text. This is optional. It adds a little icon next to the field with extra explanation in case question needs context. Save. And again, I'm going to preview my form. I don't live in Kansas, but it does like that. Let's try for 9 a.m. tomorrow again. End service. Now I have my drop down here. That's exactly how we wanted it. All right. So, okay, I have my form built. How do we actually get this in front of customers? ProLine gives you a few different ways. First, the embedded code. You can copy this code and paste it into your website. That is listed here. The second is the embedded code for the portal, the project portal. And so the portal is the customer facing page that ProLine generates for each project. It's where your customers can see their open quotes, invoices, upcoming events, all in one place. You can embed a form there too. And a great use case is referrals. For example, your customer is in the portal, loves your work, and they have a referral for their neighbor. They could fill that out right in the portal. And so that is where you would embed that project portal page, which is the second one here. Below that is dynamic share links. And these are links to a hosted version of your form with your logo and branding, and that you can share directly. There are 3, and each one has a specific job. So let me scroll down and take a look at these. We have share link with project, and share link with project and assignee. Okay, so share link, standard. Use this anywhere, ads, emails, social media, text. Let me go ahead and copy this, and then I can just show you what this will look like. So I could text this to anyone or email it, and it's going to pull up my form in the exact way that we saw before with just my logo at the top. Share link with project. This one's for your workflows. When you put this link in a workflow message, ProLine automatically inserts the project's ID into the URL. So the submission ties back to that existing project instead of creating a new one. And then that matters because say you want existing leads to book their own inspection. If you send them the regular share link, so let's say I did not have the inspection scheduler up on this initial form. I sent it to them next, right? We don't want ProLine to create a brand new lead when they book the inspection, and now you have a duplicate. So the share link with project prevents that completely. Everything stays connected to the original project. Okay, share link with project and assignee, same idea, but it also routes scheduling to that project's assigned team member. So if the customer books an appointment, they see their sales rep's calendar availability and not the whole team. So in short, the first link is for sharing publicly and the other two are for your workflows. One last gem down here is share link metadata. You know how when you share a link on WhatsApp or in a text message, a little preview pops up with a tile and an image? That's what this controls. You can set a title, description, and image, maybe a great photo of a finished roof or your logo. And every time somebody shares your form link, it shows the professional looking preview. Small detail, big impression. All right. So let's watch a lead come in. This is a moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Go over to this link that we did earlier, and I'm going to fill out this form. 9 tomorrow. Let's do we can help you with something, and I would like a roof replacement. I agree to the terms and conditions and submit. Okay, so let's go back to my dashboard. And what I'm going to be looking for is in the new leads stage, a brand new project created automatically with all the information collected. Let's take a look. Here it is, appointment scheduled. So 111 West 4th Street, that's the one that I just booked for tomorrow at 9 a.m. from my web form. There it is. Okay, nobody touched anything. Speed to lead is already running. I'm also going to, you can, let's look at this new lead here. You can open an activity tab and start new workflows or see what's already running. So we could start speed to lead on one where it's not already running. I'm going to open up this one that we just submitted and take a look at the activity tab. It shows you here what all we've collected so far, the address, main contact, etc. Right here in the activity tab at the very top, it also shows the default message and the services that they're interested in. Since we asked that question, the activity tab is always going to be the full play-by-play, all stamped with web forms as the source, projects being created, landing in the new lead stage, and in this case, the appointment scheduled stage, notes being updated, and right here, the answer to our custom dynamic field that we created for the service that you're interested in. Nothing the customer types gets lost. It's all here on the project, and that's the whole point. From the moment they hit submit, ProLine just takes over. That's all pretty simple, but before we wrap up, I know some people are thinking like, this is great, but I already have a form on my website and my marketing agency built it. It's connected to our ads. I don't want to replace it. You don't have to. And that is exactly what this second tool is for, and it's called Web Leads. So let me hop back over into integrations, and then I'm going to choose Web Leads. Okay, so Web Leads are here. This lets you create the webhook. Don't let the word scare you. Think of it as a special link that receives information instead of showing a web page. So your existing form sends the leads information to that link, and ProLine just catches it on the other end. So here are all of our drop downs. The settings will feel familiar. We can choose it looks a lot different, but it'll feel familiar. So assign team member, project stage, project tag, workflow, contact type, lead source, contact tag. And as you set them, ProLine generates the webhook link below it. And you just copy that link and send it to whoever manages your website, and they'll know what to do with it. Okay, 3 quick things. Webhooks aren't just for websites. Some lead platforms ask for one to send you leads. And this page is your answer to that. You can create as many as you want. And then one per lead source keeps your reporting clean. That's a nice way to do it. One quirk, webhooks don't stay listed on this page after you create them. So save each one in a note. They all keep working as long as the integration is enabled. Save the actual link is what I'm saying as you create them. And then the final step is just going to be enable. I have one live right now. So you would say disable integration. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. It looks like we have a few questions. Okay. Are customers able to reschedule an appointment through this as well? So we actually send, if everything's set up properly, we can send customers uh, appointment reminders with reschedule links. You'll want to get with your account manager or a support rep over here to help you set that up. Good question. Let's recap a little bit. We covered today web forms. Build a branded form inside of ProLine, embed it into your website, or share it as a link. Set the assignees, the stage, workflow, tags, lead source. Every submission becomes a project automatically, and your speed to lead workflow starts firing in seconds. Share links. The regular link is for public sharing. The project connected links are for your workflows, so customers can book their own appointments without creating duplicates. Web leads. If you already have a form you love, create a webhook and hand it to your web person, and your existing form starts feeding ProLine. And then whichever route you choose, the result is the same. No more leads sitting in an inbox. Every website lead lands in your pipeline, assigned, and followed up with automatically. Both help articles, the web form and web lead help articles, are linked in the description with every setting we covered today written out step by step. Let's open it up again, see if we have any more questions. Do the appointment reminder allow potential customers the ability to reschedule the appointment, though? They can. Depends on what you're using for that. Are you able to share the recording? Yes, of course. We will share these on YouTube probably by the end of the day tomorrow, and we do this each week. All right. Well, everyone, get started connecting your web forms if you haven't already, or webhooks, and get those leads into ProLine and get that speed to lead started. We're excited to have you today, and I'll see you next week.